Damn, it's a shame I can't play games and look at my watch at the same time.
Game watch, game watch, game watch, game watch. It's a demo game watch, no demo game watch, dale demo game watch, game watch.
ジャッジ、ボール、バーミン、ファイヤー、マイクロコンピューターを使ったゲームウォッチ。ゲームをしないときはデジタル式クォーツ時計です。
Game watch.
The Game & Watch, the very first handheld from the company that dominated the handheld market for the last 30 years. A fun console that usually came with one minigame on it. There were no interchangeable cartridges, so it relied on smaller, high score based titles that can't be finished and are basically infinitely replayable, similar to modern mobile games. It was made when Gunpei Yokoi was messing around with his calculator on a train while he was bored. He then got the idea of a portable game system, which, while they had been done before, most weren't executed very well. The Game & Watch ended with quite a decent sized library of games, considering what it was supposed to be. However, games were getting more advanced as home consoles like the NES had interchangeable cartridges and incredible stories, while the handhelds were... Games were becoming increasingly popular with everyone playing them. Men, women, girls, boys. Games. Boys.
Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Game Boy comes complete with batteries and the outrageous new game Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use Video Link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, portable power.
The Nintendo Game Boy, famous for having no backlight and also one of the most popular handhelds of all time. In fact, it wasn't dethroned as a best-selling handheld until 2010 when the DS beat it. It was home to some of the most famous games of all time: Tetris, Super Mario Land, Pokemon Red and Blue, and of course, the hit game Bionic Commando, also known as Hitler's Revival on the Famicom. This was the first handheld to get really popular worldwide and not just in Japan. On top of that, a lot of the games on the Game Boy were not just watered down versions of the mainline series. When they released a Game Boy Zelda game, they were making the new mainline Zelda game. When they were making a Game Boy Kirby game, they were making the new mainline Kirby game. And when they made Metroid 2, they were making new Mental Illnesses. It could do NES style games very well, but the SNES had already been out for a while, and so was the N64. So the only reason it was alive was because of Pokemon Red and Blue. It's time to advance.
Make your move in Sonic Advance, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, and Crash Bandicoot, now on Game Boy Advance. Rated E for everyone.
Some people call the Game Boy Advance portable Super Nintendo because the Game Boy Advance, in my opinion, is a definitive version of the Game Boy. Most comfortable, plays Game Boy Color, and of course Game Boy Advance games. The Game Boy Advance SP is also a solid option, with that being the Game Boy Advance with a clamshell design with a front or backlit screen depending on if you got the AGS 101 or 001. Yeah, 4 revisions of the Game Boy later and they still haven't added Vision. Of course, it had its fair share of amazing titles like Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission, Zelda the Minish Cap, Harvest Moon and Mother 3. The console lasted an incredibly long time, not being discontinued until 2010, almost the same year as Duke Nukem Forever. It lasted almost double the time of most consoles. Speaking of double, the double-screen DS was released in 2004 from a time where Nintendo was trying to bring a more casual audience to video games, and about the time people started saying, everyone had a DS or Wii, you had a DS, your mum had a DS, your grandma's dog's adopted child had a DS. In fact, the DS went on to become the second best selling console of all time, probably because it had a game for everyone. Brain Age, Cooking Mama and so many other casual titles built the console's massive library and player base. Now, as we get into the modern era, the gap between handheld and consoles is closing. Heck, the current main handheld is literally both. But it wasn't only Nintendo making handhelds. PlayStation made some handhelds too, so let's check those out. Oh,